Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be servicing the Tilley lamp, an X246B, which I have here, and I've currently been into the lamps now for 12 months, and 12 months ago I never ever thought I'd be servicing a Tilley lamp. I've serviced a total of 64 lamps, and this will be number 65. So I'd like you to follow along and to see how to service a Tilley lamp and get it back to its working condition and test it out and fire it up. So away we go. So I hope you enjoy the video. I'm open to criticism and also open to some comments and any better suggestions on the way I'm servicing my lamps. So to take you along now the best I can. And this is my first video of servicing a Tilley lamp, so I hope you can follow along and understand what I'm doing. First of all, what we're going to do here is service the pump. So we need to unscrew that pump. Put that down there, put this out of the way for a while. Right, as we can see, we got the pump here. What we need to do is undo the collar on the top and remove the pump and the piston. There we go, like so. Then take off the collar. As you can see there, and here we have another washer, a seal. Put that one there. As you can see, in the pump housing itself is a leather cup washer, followed by a leather cup washer, followed by the nut. And if we undo this nut, like so, take off this nut, put that there, and underneath that nut, just shake it out there, is a horseshoe shaped washer. So put that there. Here, the leather cup, which can be soaked in oil prior to assembling, and this will give a good flexible seal. So what we can do now is that we've given this one a good soaking, and we can now replace it. Here's the spring already attached on here now, and we can slide on the housing part. Then we place the leather cup washer on the top like so, which has had a good soaking in oil. Reapply the nut, give it a little twist to tighten, not too much, but that's fine. And then we can dab on a little bit of oil onto the threads, make it easier to apply the new gasket washer. Give that a turn on like so. Put on the collar. Tighten that up against the gasket washer. Now we can reapply the pump and its piston after a good soaking in oil. Just ease it in nice and gently like that. Give it a twist around and push it in with your thumbnail. Just ease it in nice and gently. There we go. And push that into there. tighten the collar up. Now we've got a pump. Now on the other end here, we've got what's called a non-return valve. I'll just open this up and show you what's inside. Inside we've got what's called little pit washer. And this makes up part of the non-return valve. That sits into the housing like that with the pit point pointing out, followed by the spring, like so. Then we can reapply the top and put it back together.
Right. There's no missed calls on here. Hey? There's no missed calls on here.
There we go. We can just give that a little tighten like that. So therefore now we've got a good pump with plenty of good pressure. There. Now that's the pump housing done. We can put that to one side there for a while. And then we can come along to our lamp. And we can remove the top. And underneath here we got the lid with a burner, and this burner's in pretty good condition, nice and clean and probably hardly been used. But if you find that one's a bit rusted up and clogged up with carbon, you can take it out by removing these lugs from here, and it all unscrews in several pieces, and you can soak it in vinegar for a couple of hours and then give it a good clean up. And what I tend to use is a bit of wire and pop it into these holes just to clear them out, and give it a good blowout afterwards before reassembling. So we can put that to one side now. And here we have a Tilley 171 glass globe, heat resistant and made in the UK. Now what we've got here left now is the stopcock and vaporizer. So we can undo that, giving it a few twists, like so. Put that down there, put that over there for now. So here we got the stopcock with the on and off switch here, the knob, and here is the vaporizer. Now just underneath here, we've got a stopcock washer. This one's just already applied and it's nice and new, and sometimes they need to replace them because they get very brittle, break and snap. Now just inside here we have a gauze filter which stops any rubbish entering the vaporizer, and this is does like this by giving it a twist. And inside here we've got another pit washer. Hope you can see that inside there. The spring goes on the top once again, followed by its housing casing like so. There. Now that end's good to go. And just in on here, this is the control knob. Now this knob will pull right off and open this nut here, which exposes the spindle. Now on the spindle is a gland nut, a very tiny little washer with a hole for it. Here, if this leaks once put underneath pressure, this gland nut needs replacing. But I shan't do that for now because it all seems to be working quite well. And so until I fill it up with paraffin and test it for leaks, I shan't deassemble and put one on yet. So now back to the vaporizer. Unscrew just like that. As you can see up in there, the valve turns up and down, which pushes the pin, the needle of the vaporizer, up and down, which acts like an on and off. That can pull out easy, just like that. And here we have a vaporizer washer, which I can replace now and put a new one on. There we are, push that down nice and tight like so. There we are. And with regards to the needle, sometimes it carbs up and you can virtually scrape along with your fingernail and clean any carbon off. But at the moment, this one doesn't look too bad. So, I'll give the vaporizer a little tap just to make sure there's no carbon inside. And now I can reapply the needle. Right, I'm quite happy for this to go on there now. The washer looks a bit screw-whiffed, but as I tighten it, you'll see it'll flatten out and make a good seal. So that now is ready to be assembled back into the tank. There we are. Give it a good twist around. And tighten it up by hand, like so. There we are, that's nice and tight. There, now we can apply the pump back into the tank. And with these old lamps here, before filling it up with nice clean fuel, it's always a good idea to tip some older fuel in, give it a good swill around and a nice clean, and shake it out a little. There we go. Get rid of any gunk or residue or old fuel or bits and pieces. There we go, that's nice and tight now. And now we can assemble back the lid and the burner after putting in the glass, and pop that back on like that. Pull out the two handle bits and it will snug in and drop into place. So that's basically almost a full service of a Tilley lamp. Hope you enjoyed it. And now what's next to do is fill it up. And what we'll do is what we call a Bunsen test. We'll test it for pressure and all the seals are sealing in all the different locations. And what we'll do for a Bunsen test is once again, take the lid back off, take out the glass globe, because we don't want that for a Bunsen test. We'll then put this back on without the glass, and what we'll do now, we'll fill it up with paraffin, and we'll get the pre-burner and burn it for a couple of minutes, let it really hot out to a nice temperature, and then we'll turn on the on and off, and hopefully we'll get a good Bunsen test coming out of the burner. So we'll do that in a minute. And we recommend that you take the glass globe out because it will get very hot in here and burn, especially without the mantle fitted. But once we're happy with all the seals and we've got a good Bunsen test and a good flame coming out, we can allow it to cool down and then refit the mantle. Hi, we're back here now and we're all ready to give her what we call a Bunsen test. I've taken out the glass globe because when you do a Bunsen test it really does get hot inside there, especially without the mantle. So we're all ready to go. I've cleaned out the tank, I've chucked in a couple of nuts and bolts and give it a good shake around and got rid of any gunk or old bits of debris. And I filled her up now with using the funnel and the jug with some nice clean fuel. So now I can put this out of the way. And got in my jar here the preheater torch soaked in methylated spirits. So we can put that on there now like so. Move this out of the way and fire her up. There we go. take a good few minutes for it to get nice and hot, so in the meantime we'll just stand back and watch and let her burn and get real hot. Just make sure there's no pressure there, because we don't want that at the moment, and make sure the on-off valve is turned off. Got a nice flame going up there now, heating the burner and the vaporizer. Just let her burn away for 2 minutes or so. And then we'll give her 1 or 2 pumps to see how well she does a Bunsen test. She should start now, begin to get hot, but we really need it so very red hot to get that Bunsen and vaporizer working. Still burning away nicely there. You really need to let her keep going. You want it really nice and hot. She's still burning away there very well. Still give it a little while before we give it a pump and open up the valve. Once we've done the Bunsen test and we're happy with it, all the seals are well sealed and no leaks anywhere, we'll let her cool down and then put a mantle on and put the glass globe back on. Right, she's beginning to die down there, the flame now, so we'll tighten up the pump and give it a pump. That should be enough just to get her going. Nope, close her back off again. Nope, still not ready to go yet. What we'll do, I think we'll let off the pressure, close the valve and give her another bit of a burn. Let it burn away again for a while. Make sure the valves are all undone. Should always remember at this stage not to over pump, because we don't want too much fuel going into the burner, which could cause a flare up. So you really need the vaporizer and burner hot. Right, I think she should be hot enough now, so we'll tighten up the pump. Open up this valve. And away she goes. There we are, it's burning quite well now. Take away the preheater. I'll just move the camera so you can see that she's burning quite well now. Yeah, we've got a good constant flame there now. Bunsen burnt tests completed and burning very well. All we've got to do now is turn her off, let her cool down, and she's ready to put a mantle on. Right, we're happy with our Bunsen tests, and now we're ready to put a new mantle on. As you can see, I've got the mantle. X-Mantle Tilley 164X. Now these are knotted, they've got like a drawstring on them, but for some reason they've already knotted and you can't pull them out tight to get on, so it's a case of mismatch and trying to get on. So we'll have a go at it here now. Slip this end over the top, and I'm going to put the top end on first, in order that when I do the awkward end it don't come off. So you just got to press it all around like so. Feed it through. There we go. That's on the bottom there. Now the tricky part is pulling it tight to get the rest of it on. Really tricky. think we're near enough there now. Seems to be in position all the way around. Yeah, quite happy with that. Yeah. Just check this side. Yeah. Locate the drawstring. I don't think it needs tightening though. I think it is tight enough. There we go. So that's all in place now. All we need to do now is go back to our lamp. Pop in the glass. Slide this one on the top. And then just open those, let it drop in place. There we go. And now we've successfully got a fully serviced, up and working Tilley lamp X146. Please, if you like my video, please comment, subscribe and give a little tick in the box as a like, and this would be helpful, and then I can see that it's worthwhile been doing. So we thank you for the viewing and thank you for your patience and watching my video. So thank you very much.